Shalom. We're in preparation for Torah portion, I think it's 36, Bahalotcha. Now this Torah portion normally is in combination with Nasor and never stand on its own normally. So it's the first time that I look at this separately on its own. And what is quite fascinating is it starts with the commandment, or just a little, recap on the menorah. It says that they need to light the menorah, to have 7 lights. And then he mentions that the menorah is made from one piece of gold that's beaten into the shape. So that's just like a heading. Now, what's fascinating about this is the name of this Torah portion is also the last thing we looked at, the last Torah portion, which is the Shema. We looked at the pattern of the Shema, and this verse of the starting of this Torah portion is the same pattern as the Shema. And what we extracted from this, and I'm going to put it in this Torah portion, are the gifts of the Spirit. And there are 7 lights, and I grouped the gifts into 7 because I think that's the main headings. Because the Torah always gives us the pattern and the framework of what it's supposed to be. So there's not 9 gifts or 12 gifts or whatever, there's 7. And they are grouped together under those headings. And I extracted them from the meanings of the 3 sons of Aaron, Goath, Gershon, Merari, what they did, as well as information from the Shema, not the Shema, Aaronic blessing, as well as this first verse in this Torah portion. A few hints, and then the gifts are embedded within there, like little gems in the jewelry. So that's the starting point of this. The next passage, moving from there, is the consecration of the priesthood. And they had to wash themselves. Well, that was quite fascinating when I saw that, because when we look at our physical counting of the Omer, where we are today, remember we did day 50 and 49 and 50 during the time frame of the normal traditional Shavuot. We haven't arrived at the mountain yet. So guess when will we arrive at the mountain? This Friday, which will be the 16th of the 3rd month, number 61 of the Omer, arriving at the mountain. Guess what happens when they arrived at the mountain? They washed themselves. And this Torah portion is right after the Omer count, just after arriving at the mountain. The focus is not on the people washing themselves, but the priesthood washing themselves. And the priesthood is compared to the menorah. And then next week, Tuesday, the 1st of June, that is the 18th of the 3rd month, number 64 of the counting of the Omer, that's when Yahweh will speak. So this Torah portion is right smack in the middle of those 2 dates. And the theme is about cleansing the priesthood and Yahweh speaking to the priesthood. Isn't that interesting? That our cycle in this day and age is in sync with the counting of the Omer, which is another witness of the counting. Now, the reason I want to underline this a little bit is I know there's a lot of controversy. When I presented this, I think 3 years ago, the first time, people just gave me blank stares because, you're totally saying something different. You're against what the Christians say. You're against what the Jews say. And you're on your own, mate, because there's no one who confirms that. No, I don't need another man to confirm it. I went through this year's Torah portion, and the last 2 Torah portions prior to this one, I got witness after witness after witness after witness after witness confirming those dates and those numbers and those days over and over and over and over again. Now, if that's not enough proof that the scripture confirms scripture, then you need to cling on to your doctrine and ride the little camel through the wilderness on your day 50 and ignore the warnings that Yahweh is giving to number 50, which is a golden calf form of Shavuot. Good luck to you, because in this Torah portion, Yahweh places the emphasis on how important it is for Kohath, the people who are supposed to be the priesthood under Melchizedek, King Yeshua, our high priest, how important it is to take his word serious, to tremble at his word. In this Torah portion, we'll see a real life example of that when we're going to look at the blowing of the two trumpets, the making of the two silver trumpets. And where the word to blow the trumpet or sounding the trumpet is first found is in the book of Chronicles, where King David, the beloved king, did not adhere to the commandments that is in this Torah portion about how to move the Ark of the Covenant. And that's also covered in last week's Torah portion. David ignored the detail, and he placed the ark on an ox wagon, and someone died. That's how serious it is to take Yahweh's word serious, because people will get hurt. People will die spiritually if you just do what you think is right. Yes, the ox wagon can carry the ark. Yes, and according to man, because Uzzah's name means strength, that is the best way for a lazy person to carry the ark. It's the strongest way. Of course, the wagon. We can't trust people to carry the things of Yahweh. We need a wagon. So what's a wagon a symbol of? Man-made traditions. We made little ox wagons to carry Yahweh's things, and we tried to carry his presence with our little wagons up to Jerusalem, and then people die along the way, and then we think, why is my faith not confirmed? Why don't we see the things that they saw? They lived through a time of constant miracles. They had manna every single day. They saw the cloud that signaled when they need to go, when they need to move. It's supernatural. Yahweh spoke to them as a collective group. We don't see that. We see a circus of people imitating his holy things on their ox wagons, trying to carry his presence, but it's full of emptiness and it's dangerous. So that's my 2 cents on not taking Yahweh's word serious. And if you question the scripture, well, good luck to you, because Yahweh's consequences of his word is serious. We need to take him serious when we do the work of the kingdom. If you want to be part of the priesthood, part of Kohath, you need to take him serious. Otherwise, you can just disappear in the masses and just be like the nations, wishy-washy, and become least in the kingdom. And you will not receive the crown of the bride. So that's my little message to you today. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll speak to you soon. Shalom.